Hello, hello. It is Wednesday, August 27th, 2025, and we're back for another few minutes of reflection as we cruise through the end here of August, looking at September on our doorsteps and the coming fall. On our drive back from Canada, I saw lots of signs of fall coming, and you can just sense that it's soon to be apple picking season and soon to be all the things of fall, which I think I've said it before. I absolutely adore autumn or fall, whatever you call it. But that may not be what you're experiencing where you are. So the weather today at the end of the summer here is, at least in the New York City area, it's really pleasant, I have to say. It's going to be a high of 76 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 degrees Celsius. And so it's sunny, looks pretty clear and sunny today. So a really wonderful day to be outside if you can be around here. But let's take a look at another part of the world. And I don't know why. I just picked these randomly, honestly. But today I looked at Tripoli in Libya and what their weather's like right now, Northern Africa. So let's see, a high today of 95, excessive heat, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius. So not as hot as it could be, but definitely not cool. And it looks very, very sunny there in Tripoli. So have you been to, has anyone listening been to Tripoli? I would love for you to let me know in the comments. I would like to at some point go everywhere. Even places where it may not be safe at the moment, or maybe it is. I don't know. I have to take a deeper look at that. And as far as holidays, there's really not a whole lot going on today. Globally, even, there's a few lesser known holidays and things like that, but nothing major that I can tell. It's Lyndon Baines Johnson Day here, I guess, commemorating, I think, LBJ's birthday. I think it is. Let me see here. Yep, it's commemorating the birthday. It's a legal state holiday in Texas, celebrating the birthday of U.S. President Lyndon Baines Johnson. He was quite a character. If you studied any 20th century American history, LBJ was really, he's known for some iconic legislation, but he was quite a character in terms of what he was willing to do to get things done. We have a long history of people who are willing to go to pretty extreme lengths, although I doubt it's anything. What we're seeing today is a little bit different. Definitely different. I was reading a speech from Mussolini this morning and was remarking to myself at how similar it sounds. Let's put it that way. All right. But, the other thing that's coming up for me is, yesterday we'd come back from our trip and we left Friday, came back Monday, but we drove, and the drive, it's a long drive from Canada, Toronto area down to to New Jersey. We live in New Jersey, but we're right across from Manhattan, so we're in the greater NYC area, and it's a number of different. It's many hours to drive, and I always I keep suffering from the mistake of thinking that I can come back in the evening after a trip and dive in creatively the next day like I normally would. And it almost never happens. And I was reflecting on it, and what I realized something that I just need to pay closer attention to, and I wonder if this resonates with you, is that when I'm on a journey, especially if I'm having to do a lot of work around it, so driving, for example, I'm figuring out times, where are we going to stop, getting gas, all those things. It isn't work in that sense, but it's not work in the, corporate sense, but the brain doesn't really know much difference. I mean, it's using all your executive function all day long, trying to avoid dying, keeping yourself fed. There's a lot of aspects to it. And so what I found is that what you might call level 3 creative work that requires the most cognitive energy, when I come back from a trip like that, I don't want to do anything like that the next day. I'm kind of mentally, I don't want to just say tired. It's just that I need to get the house in order, the desk clean, whether that's metaphorically or really clean, and get resettled. So I find myself capable of some pretty ministerial tasks, some basic stuff. But I always, kind of have a feeling of being a little bit down after a trip for the first day back. And I think I especially feel down when I set my expectations too high about what I can possibly get done. And so just note to myself that next time I take a trip, give myself at least a day to do very basic stuff that doesn't require a lot of deep thinking. So in a coaching program I did years ago, they kind of called it level 1 thinking, level 2 thinking, level 3 thinking. Level 1 thinking is sort of truly things you've done a million times that you don't even, making an egg for me is, requires almost no brain power. It has a meditative quality to it because I can do it in my sleep. Or even making coffee is so ritualistic that, I don't have to give it a whole lot of thought at all. It just doesn't drain me. Level 2 thinking is something that maybe I've done before, but I have to put a little bit of thought into it. A lot of emails are like that if they are mildly substantive. So, might require a little bit of thought, but it's not a high tension situation. So that's okay. But level 3 is that real creative work, right? You're writing a piece, even recording certain types of video, anything that, designing strategy, and frankly, goal setting. So I wanted to do some goal setting yesterday, and my mind was not having it. I was just not in that place at all. And because to go deep into what's underneath the goals and make sure they're aligned, that's a creative exercise. So today I have a totally different energy. I'm my capacity for creativity today, I can tell already, is completely different than it was yesterday. And I just needed a day to kind of get resettled. So as someone who loves traveling, and as I've done a lot of it in my life, I don't know why this lesson, I have to do it so many different times to sort of really get it. But it was a good reminder yesterday to just go have a little grace for myself and choose tasks that are low energy, not necessarily the most creative, but that keep things rolling. But, you're just also buying yourself some time to get back in that space. So I hope that's helpful. What is it for you? How do you handle it when you go on a trip and you come back? How much time do you need to get reset before you can do certain things? And what do you do to sort of optimize that period? I'd love to know. If you're on Substack, drop a comment. For this episode. And let's share with others what your hacks and insights are about recalibrating after a trip. I'd love to know. Good to be back podcasting this week. I hope it gives you some inspiration as you traverse your own challenges and your own work and obligations and opportunities. And enjoy the rest of the summer if it's summer for you. And if it's not, enjoy whatever the rest of the season is for you, wherever you may be. Thanks for listening so much. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode. In the meantime, please be good to yourself and to others, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.